welcome back. My name is Fatima and this is my makeup model.
Hey, I'm Jaden.
And then today we're gonna do a pretty simple, soft pink, blushy, glowy look on her. Kind of like, like a very aesthetic. This is really easy to follow at home, so you can just recreate this at home, and we're gonna go over all the steps and the products that we use today. To start off with the face, we're gonna go in with our micellar water. We're using our Absolute New York all-in-one. You can get this at any beauty store. So just get your damp brush or your damp cotton round. And then of course it's always important to do the eyelids because they get very oily, and the lips. To tone her face, we're going in with our fresh hydrating facial rose toner. This product is really good to add hydration back into the face, especially if your client has the smile lines here that normally comes from dehydration and a lack of circulation. Her, like all of my other makeup models, have really good skin, so of course she doesn't have that much dehydration. Yeah, she has a really good skincare routine. She likes to use Korean products, right? Yeah. Before we put on our moisturizer, I'm going in with another fresh product. This one's the Instant Hydration Mist. So for oily clients with oily skin, you don't need to use that much facial products. I think that the makeup lays on better with minimal products, but everyone has different preferences. And with this, we're gonna massage it into the skin, and of course getting our client used to our touch. For our moisturizer, we're using the Sephora All Day Hydrator. This one is just like a very good basic essential to have in your kit. When I moisturize, I like to avoid the eye area. Um, she doesn't have oily eyelids, so she should be okay if I put product on her eyelids. But I feel like it just sets the primer better. The primer can adhere to the skin a little bit better. To moisturize her lips, we're going with our Laneige lip mask. This is our Urban Decay facial primer that we're going to be using today. Everyone has their own preferences on how much they want to be using. This is how much I use. And for the under eyes, it's really good to just kind of like buff it in, making sure that you get all those creases. Before going in with our foundation, we're doing our Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue. So this is, of course, the All Over Luminizer in the shade Rose Gold. So this product is gonna make the look more glossier. And of course, you can see it adds like more of a shine, which is gonna peek through when we put on our foundation. For our base, we're using Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue, and this is Natural Pecan. This is our Morphe M707 brush. This is a really good foundation brush. Oh, that might be a little too dark. So this is a really good example if you go somewhere like Macy's and you go into the makeup store, and of course, as always, they get your shade wrong. If it's too dark, sometimes it can give you that tan look that some people enjoy. Going in with our Graftopian Professional Makeup Palette, we're gonna use a blend of this color with a tiny bit of this color just to bring in, match a little bit of the face along with putting in a little bit more coverage. When you apply a shade darker to the face than what you intended, it doesn't always benefit you to remove all of the makeup because then you have to reapply your products. A lot of times you can use a little bit more of the darker shade underneath as a way of contouring the face. And that is going to save you a lot of extra product and time rather than if you were to just reapply everything again. For our concealer, we're doing our AOA Studio Liquid Concealer in the color Porcelain. I like to go in with the foundation brush and then just lightly go underneath the eyes and bring it down into the nose and more of this triangular area right here. You can also bring your highlighting area more into the temples, and that's gonna lift the face a lot. Some people like to contour these sides just to kind of like emphasize the contour that's gonna go on here. To set her face, we're doing the Morphe Pink Powder. This is really good for illuminating under the eyes. This is the type of brush that I like to use when you're applying powder. And of course, when you're applying powder under the under eyes, you shouldn't overdo it always because that can also contribute to creasing when there's too much product under the eye. You're going to bring your powder down the nose, down the sides of the nose. If you have more of an oily nose all over, then you can just apply it all over. But I like to focus more into the sides of the nose and into the crease line. For even coverage, you're gonna apply it to this whole area. We only put powder under the eyes to set the concealer, but for this dewy look, we're not gonna apply any powder anywhere else, only where there may be chances of creasing. To contour her face, we're doing the Aqua Assurance Compact Powder in the medium beige. This kind of contouring is going to be very soft and light, so we're only going to be applying, we're not going to do any kind of like harsh lines. We're going to go in with the natural contouring of her face, which is going to be something that's very flattering. As you can see, with very minimal product, the structure of the face has already changed. Normally when you apply foundation, especially at larger amounts, it gets rid of all the dimension of the face. And of course you just want to keep the colors, all the colors that go on here have to match with the rest of the face. When you have a client, it's always important to have them have a shirt that shows the chest area. That way you can match the colors. For more of an angular look, you're going to focus your contouring on this area. And if you want to just make sure to keep the roundness, you're going to bring your contour upwards into the temples. Just the sides of the nose, lightly brush to avoid any kind of harsh lines that can be shown during specific angles or lighting. And of course, with this kind of technique, there's no harshness going on the sides of the nose. To apply the blush, we're using this Juvia's palette in probably a mixture of this color, and this is the blush brush that we're going to be using. When applying the blush, you want to apply it right above the contour line, and then just blend it inwards like this. And starting off here, we're gonna bring it downwards and then upward strokes. And bring it into the center of the cheeks. And for more of a pink blushy look, you can always bring it into the under eyes as well. Just to apply a little bit more coverage under the eyes, we're going in with our Bare Minerals. This is a powder foundation, which is in the shade of Fair Ivory. And just to brighten up a little bit, we're doing our Revlon Luxury Baking Powder, which is in the shade Ghost. With a mixture of both of the powders, we're gonna do the same thing and apply under the eyes. To work on her eyebrows, we're doing this NYX Thickening Brow Gel in the color Brunette, along with our color Collab Brow Pencil in the shade Rich Brown.
Oh, it's falling.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Nah, I saved your phone. It's gonna get knocked over.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so she already has really nicely shaped eyebrows. They complement her face a lot. So we're just gonna lightly fill in where there's a little bit more of a sparse brow. Not anything dramatic. Following the way that her hair grows, just following that. Wait, so she had a whole apartment to herself?
It was like she went to Towson University.
For highlighter, we're going to put this one on first, which is our Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Pillow Talk. And we're gonna put this on top of that, which is our Fenty in the shade What a Brat. To apply our Hollywood Charlotte Tilbury highlighter, we're going to use our blush brush. For an extra glowy look, I like to put this on the temples of the forehead and in the same application. So this is where the blush was, and just I like to concentrate the highlighter specifically on the cheekbone right here and into the temples and on the end of the nose as well. And of course, you can put this on the bridge and on the Cupid's bow. To concentrate this highlighter, we're going to be using this fan brush. And so I like to put this on here. And just specifically only focus it on the cheekbone, making sure not to diffuse it anywhere else. To prime our eyes, we're using our Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This formula does have a little bit more of an oily base, which is really good for dry to normal skin types. Normally, this wouldn't really be too much of a preferred item when it comes to more of the really oily skin, because this wouldn't really be helping in terms of oil control. And of course, if you're gonna be extending your eyeshadow, make sure that you're gonna be covering everything with your primer. For the eyeshadow application, we're gonna do these two ColourPop palettes, Baby Got Beach and Truly Madly Deeply. Normally, for more pigmented eyeshadow looks, you can put a light film of translucent powder on the eyelids, but for this very soft look, we're just gonna go in straight with this shadow right here. We're lightly going to cover the whole eyelid, avoiding the eyebrow bone right here. When it comes to blending, especially as a beginner, it's very important to start with the shades that match your skin the most and then start building up. Now for our second layer, we're going in with more of a deeper pink. It also has its light shimmer. And we're gonna mostly focus in on the inner eyelid going outwards. For more of a diffuse look, it's good to use a fluffier brush when you want to focus on precision and detail. You have to use more of a defined brush. The type of brush that you use is going to help a lot with how you do your makeup. To add more depth into the eyeshadow, we're going with our Morphe 35T palette. and in this color right here, which is another round. If you're ever intimidated by the placement, it's always good to start right here, which is at the end of your eye socket right here. This is probably the safest place to start, and from here you can either go outward or inward. And this is also right here, this area right here is gonna help you define how the shape of your eye goes. So her bone is this right here and it ends right here. So start from here and then start brushing outwards. Okay, and then once we finish here, what I already did off camera is I brought it onto the top right here. So if you can feel how your eye placement goes, just follow that inwards. Very lightly. Bring it inwards. So just to add the tiniest bit of dimension into the eyes, which is going to bring in more depth and also fire the natural eye, we're going to finish off with a mixture of these two colors just on the outer, and not blend it outwards or diffuse it. Just have it more concentrated into this area. And for this step, we're going to be using more of a condensed angled brush. Using the same palette, we're going to apply this crew eyeshadow into the inner eyelid. This specific step is going to create a base for the lighter pigments to be able to perform better. Now for the glitter, we're going in with a Sugar Me. We're going to start in from the inner corner, diffusing it outwards. Now going back in with our ColourPop palette, we're going in with this lighter shade. When you want to concentrate the eyeshadow, especially if you're using lighter colors, instead of such a buffing effect, we're just going to do padding. To highlight the eyes, we're going in with our Charlotte Tilbury. The same brush, we're going to go in, pick up the pigment and work in from our inner corner. Now for the bottom of the eye, we're going in with our other Colorproof palette in the shade Poodle. When you're working under the eye, it's good to use a condensed brush. That way you don't place the pigment all over the eyelid or the under eye, and you have more control over where the pigment goes. Using the bright pigmented pink under the eyes, that's going to create a base where the shimmers can appear. For more mature clients, it's not too much of a good idea to be applying shimmer as loosely as this type of eyeshadow look, because sometimes shimmer can accentuate texture and wrinkles. To finish the eyeshadow, we're going back with our Fenty highlighter, focusing directly under the eyes. And just on the brow bone. And now for the eyeliner, I'm going in with the Urban Decay in the color Whiskey. And of course, you want to apply this very tightly into the lash line. This is more to define the shape of the eye rather than to accentuate it. So we're not going to be blending out as much. Okay, and with this eyeliner for this specific look, we're not gonna bring the liner all the way into the eye. We're just gonna keep it on the outside when it comes to under the eye. To set the eyeliner, we're going in with this angled eyeliner brush. To set the eyeliner in place, we're gonna go in with the Sweetest Tea from our Morphe palette. Using this angled brush, you're gonna have very much control where this pigment goes. So just applying this pigment directly onto where you had already placed the eyeliner. Doing the same thing under the eye, making sure that you stick specifically into the lash line. When you are doing the eyeshadow and a tiny bit of pigment falls under the eyes, you can get like any kind of fluffy brush and just kind of like doing swooping motions, but also like picking it up, so like that. That way you kind of you can avoid it kind of like dispersing all over the under eyes, just like that. Okay, now we're going with our AOA lash curler. Does this hurt?
Not right now, no.
Okay. So yeah, I like to grab the lashes by the base, curl slowly upwards. Now that we've curled her eyelashes, we're going in with the Panorama L'Oreal mascara. And this is the shade Black Brown. So to get enough coverage on the eyelashes, I like to go in with different angles. So sometimes I'm going to go in inwards and then brush outwards. Brushing from different angles, like outside in or inside out, is also gonna create like the spiky look on the eyelashes without making them look clumpy. And at the very tips of the eyelashes, I like to just comb them upwards, and then that's also gonna elongate the eyelashes. To finish off the lips, we're gonna go ahead and do this Pat McGrath Labs in the Nude Venus, as well as this Sephora lip stain. And then we're gonna do a combination of these lip glosses on top. Using our lip brush, which the shades have already been mixed. With this color, we're just gonna be following the natural shape of her lips. To seal the makeup, we're doing our Morphe Continuous Setting Spray with the NYX Dewy Finish. Close your eyes. This is the final result of our pink and dewy look. She's gonna have her first look of what it looks like.
Looks so cute.
You can hold the mirror. And this is the close-up. As you can see, it's very soft, no harsh lines, and no emphasis on texture, with very minimal coverage of product. This is a very well blended, flirty look that will complement your features, especially if you are more on the youthful side. I hope you guys liked the tutorial, and we'll see you soon. Bye!